Hi Taurus, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2023 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic Coral spread as always, and also pull the 4 agreements, Wisdom, Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright. We have Leo, and Leo for you guys is your 4th house of home, roots, and mother. Astrologically speaking, it's quiet there right now, but that could be an area of focus for you guys this month. Alright, we also have Neptune, and Neptune is actually in Pisces, which for you guys is your 11th house of groups, hopes, and wishes, and friendships. So yeah, it could just be one of those things where, let's see, we have Neptune and also Saturn there, so maybe you might be feeling a little bit of confusion around that area of your life right now, feel like things are a little bit restricted. And we have 3, excuse me, 3. So 3rd house energy is actually Cancer for you guys, and astrologically speaking, that sign's also a little bit quiet, but generally speaking, 3rd house points to communications, short journeys, and siblings. Alright, so with those out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 6 of Cups, and challenging that, we have the Hierophant. So this is actually the major arcana card for your sign, and this is a Scorpio energy here. Actually points to the middle 10 degrees of Scorpio, so more or less it'll be right as we get into November, we'll be in these degrees. So could just be saying for some of you that there's a part of you that wants to reconcile with someone from your past, but seeing the Hierophant in the challenge position here, it could just be saying that you're being blocked from that for some reason, right? So maybe there's an understanding that you guys aren't aware of that, oh, if they were to come back together right now, it'd just be a disaster, right? So it could just be one of those things where you and this other party are being held apart a little bit longer for the time being. Alright, in the foundation position, we have the 2 of Wands, so Aries energy here. So on the one hand, this could just be saying that you're being nudged towards something new versus going back to something old, but it could also be saying that for some of you, you still feel that pull, though, to where you do want a fresh start with a connection from your past. Alright, past energy, we have the Empress. So this often is referred to as a Taurus energy as well, since you guys are ruled by Venus and it's a very earthy energy and the artwork. So it could just be saying that for a lot of you might have been trying to remain open and receptive in the past, hoping that this person would come forward to you first, right? I mean, if we even look at the artwork with the way the Hierophant is in the spread, he's pointing right toward the card there. So it could just be saying that that was actually the right approach for you to take at this time, but it could just be that now you might feel like that approach is taking too long for things to be resolved, so you might be feeling nudged to take action. Alright, in the present position, we have the Chariot. So this is actually Cancerian energy here, which we did see come up in your dice. So yeah, it could just be saying that you're being led toward new journeys, right? So it could just be one of those things where the energy that I'm getting here is that it's not necessarily you're never supposed to reconnect with this person, but it's just more of a timing thing. So it could just be saying that there's other things that you're meant to experience at this time. Alright, in the near future position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is actually Jupiter energy, and Jupiter's been in your sign for a while, although it's been retrograde, but it could just be pointing, again, this is another thing that points to timing for me, right? Because if we look at the wheel, it makes you think of what goes up must come down, right? And the cyclical energy of things. So it could just be saying that once Jupiter starts to move forward in your sign again, possibly even sooner than that, but it could just be saying that it's more of a timing thing that's leading to the blockage. Alright, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the 4 of Cups. So yeah, so whatever type of connection this is, for a lot of you, it could be friendship, but it could also point to family connections, romantic connections even, right? Feels like this is saying that the environment that you're in, you're not necessarily fulfilled with, right? So maybe for some of you, that's the main reason why you do want to reach out to this person, right? You might feel like, okay, people in my life currently. I don't feel like I have the same level of connection I had with this person from the past, right? So I would like to rekindle that connection. All right, in the environment position, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is actually a Sagittarius energy here. So for some of you, this could be pointing to a timeline, saying that as we get toward the end of November, you might feel like this blockage is freed up a lot, given that this usually points to a lot of communication, a lot of movement, a lot of action. And this representing the first 10 degrees of Sagittarius would be toward the end of November. So it could just be saying that it won't be too much longer, but for whatever reason at this time, you guys aren't meant to come back together. Right, in hopes or fears position, we have the Hangman. So I feel like this is saying that for a lot of you, it's probably more of a hope, right? Where you're trying to figure out, well, what is causing the blockage, right? Where you feel like something within me feels guided to reach out to this person, right? I would have thought they would have possibly reached out to me by now, right? So you could just be racking your brain around what could possibly be, like what you're missing, right? Like, why isn't this coming together sooner? So I feel like that's what that's pointing to. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Devil. So this is Capricorn energy here. So it could just be a couple of things here too. This could also be pointing to a timeline, given that Capricorn season would start toward the end of December. But to me, this does say that the connection technically isn't done, because this usually points to a karmic connection where there's still lessons to be learned with the other person. So it could just be one of those things where, like I said, I feel like it's more of a timing thing, saying that, hey, you're not meant to come back together with this person right now, but eventually it will happen. And I get it, because to a certain extent, if there was an underlying problem that was missed in the past, right, and you guys haven't figured that out, whether it's you or the other person, and then you come back together, it's just going to be a repeat of the same thing again, right? And you end up back at square one, to where it's saying maybe a little bit more time apart. You might even find yourself in different types of connections, and maybe someone says something, or you overhear something, see something on TV, you name it, and it just might end up clicking for you or for the other person, where, oh, okay, this was the dynamic that was being missed in the past that might have led to the separation. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands. So this is Leo energy here. And given that we also saw Leo energy come up in the dice, and we talked about how that represents your family connections for the most part, this could be saying that for some of you, maybe it is a family thing, or possibly it could have been more of like an ego type of conflict that might have split you and this other person apart in the past. For your Four Agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions, and there's the artwork, and it says relinquish the need to change others. Okay, it says real love is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means that we don't really like them. It is easier to find someone who is already the way you want him or her to be, instead of trying to change that person. So yeah, it'd just be one of those things where that could have been what was at play, right? Maybe you would butt heads with this person because you had different approaches to things, but you would be insistent on, well, no, I want this person to stay around, but I also want them to do things the way I want them to do them, right? Or vice versa. Maybe that was the approach they took toward you, right? So that could have been the conflict there. And now you might be called to look at that. Like, okay, well, can I really accept this person as is? Or is that a sign that maybe there's someone else that I should be connecting with? Your Wisdom Oracle card is Y. There's the artwork, and the number is 31. Let's see what this has to say. Okay, essential meanings says motives, driving intention, the power of knowing the why. The Oracle's message: there is great power in understanding your motives right now. The Oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving in this way, and most important, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you are clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, and then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. So yeah, definitely a good question there, right? As far as is there some underlying reason that you would want to reconnect, right? So, for example, just a super generic example based on this energy. Is it really that you truly miss this person, or is it just that the people in your life right now are a little bit more boring, right? So it's like, all right, it's not necessarily that person that's so amazing. It's just that the people around you right now are less than ideal, and it has you romanticizing the connection for the past. The relationship message says we don't always know why we engage in our relationships in the way we do, mostly because our feelings aren't always logical. Now is the time to recognize whether you are being triggered by someone else or if your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues in the past. When you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this and why did I say that, and spend some time in introspection, the answer may be surprising. Look to the messages from your intuition, from the deep knowing within you. What does it tell you about yourself and others? In the end, life is all about being loved. Miracles and a deep understanding of your needs and how to get them met are the buried treasure of the why. Uncover them by posing the most powerful question you can ask yourself and your partner today. Why? So, definitely a positive message there as well. And what that makes me think of as well is that we haven't had that full moon eclipse in your sign just yet. So for some of you, that could even be a point where you might start to feel a shift, right? So if there was some lesson that was being missed around why is this still blocked up, it might even be that as we get through that energy, which is coming up in a few days, you'll feel a lot more sure of yourself at that point. The prosperity message says knowing the motives behind your career and creative ventures is the ticket to your greatest success. It's time to ask yourself some probing questions. Are you driven by a desire to serve? Does your prosperity impact the greater good? When you envision your most prosperous life, are you guided by a sense of purpose or by a need to make money, acquire things, save for the future, or all of these? No motive is bad or good, but having agendas hidden from yourself will lead to disappointment and possibly failure. Be clear about why you want the things you do. If your motives are true, accept them. If they are not, change them so you can step into your extraordinary life. So yeah, definitely a good message there as well. This didn't necessarily come across as a financially motivated reading for me, but hopefully that resonated with you guys either way. Lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is your mudra here. It's the Vishuddha Chakra mudra. The keyword for it is communication. Alright, and there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under the benefits section, it says improves the health of the thyroid and parathyroid glands, benefits the voice, reduces tension in the neck, improves communication with self and others, increases sensitivity to the thoughts and feelings of others. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, I'll put that in the description of the video. As always, we'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. Alright, bye.